Hi everyone and welcome back to the Source Wisdom podcast. And today it's all about emotions again. But before, I'm so excited to announce that we've launched our membership. And truly what came through is that this is your soul's gym membership without the heavy lifting. Because I'm like, you don't have to work that hard for it. And I can't wait to see every single one of you. Like, we already know intuitively there are going to be at some point thousands of people in there, and it's going to grow and become this huge library of monthly training audios where you have the opportunity to ask questions, and then we intuitively look in. So I would be so honored and so excited to have you there and see you truly there, and I can't wait for it. Great. So today we're diving into another foundation of some emotional mastery, and you need emotional mastery. Every single person on this planet needs emotional mastery. And there's so much that goes into it. And it's obviously mastering your emotions, because what happens if you try to communicate something with someone, or if you just in a situation, if you're not emotionally neutral, you're fucked. I'm so sorry, I can't say it otherwise. All the blood leaves your brain. So if you're any kind of emotional, your body thinks you automatically in fight or flight, puts you into it, and your body thinks you're being chased by a tiger, a lion, whatever it is, because that's the level of threat it thinks, even if it's just an email or mail or just one word from your boyfriend, an SMS or anything like that. And your body thinks it has to keep you alive, while all your blood leaves your brain to go into all of your limbs. Because if it goes into your limbs, you can run faster, you could fight back, and it's just all of that oxygen is pumping through your muscle and all of the things you would need to either fight or flight. And then you're no longer thinking straight. And then what happens is, because all of the blood and everything has left your brain, you can also be gaslit and manipulated. And it's not just the typical things that everyone is talking about. We really go into, into the nitty-gritty here. Because truly the best master manipulators, like the narcissists, all of that, aren't going to let you know when you're being manipulated, because that's the whole thing. And if you're emotional, it's very easy to do that, because not many people understand how deeply this influence truly goes, and how you're no longer consciously react from a high frequency place. You're actually just reacting from a fight or flight response, very low, because your body thinks you're dying and you need to be protected. And it's two parts. Your emotions and your nervous system manipulates you, but also you're very susceptible to other people manipulating and gaslighting you. And then it's the wolf in sheep's clothing thing. And it's understanding that how to respond in such a moment, when you're emotional, all of that, how to not get triggered, and how to respond and communicate in a balanced, neutral way, that you're unfazed by it. And in the Rewire workshop, we go into the tools how you can balance out your emotions, get neutral, like all of the foundation things, like, and it's not even foundation, it's so advanced, but it's still like so much more to dive into, which is so exciting. And it's all the advanced versions of it, the high frequency stuff, to really be able to balance you out and get back into your self-love and be successful in your life to weather any storm that comes, because you need to do that. You're probably reacting from an emotional state at some point in your life, and you no longer desire that. Now, the truth is that most people are triggered daily, and they don't even realize how much triggered they are, like how emotional they are on a daily basis. And we're diving into this to not get triggered, to really balance yourself out. And you get emotional, but when you're impacted by memories you don't even have to consciously remember, because those old outdated beliefs, like all of those memories, are stored. And sure as heck, your nervous system and your emotions remember that. So, and the problem is that most of the information out there is not good. Like, very low frequency, it's bad advice, to be honest. It's probably either going to be, don't feel your emotions, like, fuck emotions, you don't need emotions, push them down, or, I don't know, whatever they say, or it's the opposite, and it's like, just feel everything, and embody everything, and just act on everything, and your emotions are just who you are. I'm like, not really. Like, you need the source perspective on this, because all of that is really bad advice and keeping you stuck. We often talk about the manipulation in, like, the external world from the media, politics, society, belief systems, all of that. But also there's a part of the deepest manipulation happens within ourselves. And all of you guys are so elite, and I know you will get this, and you're just so advanced. And everyone who's felt the pull to listen to this podcast episode, it's your pull from your higher self to let them know that they're ready to start to master this, truly. And why I say you're elite is because if you intuitively look in, only 1% of the world, like, are mastered, maybe. It's truly like 1% of the world has emotional mastery, and they are the elite. We're not talking about the dark elite, we're talking about the light elite that aren't reactive, aren't irrational, and you know what I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just not acting out from their emotions or letting their emotions take over their life, when actually you're meant for more. So if you keep on listening to this, and if you just had the pull to listen to this, let this be known. Your higher self and your soul chose you to actually master your emotions, to be of the 1%, which also comes with a lot of money, with being successful, for living your best life, being expanded, all of that. And I'm not surprised, because you guys are amazing, and you're blowing my mind every single day of how amazing you guys are, like how incredible you are, and you're doing the things that took me so long. You're doing them way faster. And I couldn't be more proud and like excited for you guys. And it's just so amazing. As I said, the most advice you get on emotional mastery is like, just let them out. Now, if you're emotionally expressing from anger or rage or anything, then you just tell the other person to go fuck themselves, to go to hell, to just, I don't know what else you could say. And it's not from a balanced place. Now, there is a place and point in time where you can let out your anger, where you can express it, because remember, emotions are our best trait. Like, this is exactly why we've come down to earth, to feel those emotions and everything. But being emotional master, being that unbothered queen, is not about expressing out of anger, but getting it from a neutral point. Now, if you're just expressing that anger, rage against anyone, people don't want to be with you. Like, let's be real. People will not want to be with you. You do need to love your emotions. And we dive into that in our courses. Don't worry. It's a self-image tool where you love your emotions, but it's a safe place where you can express them. Two very different things. And so we have that in our upcoming course. But emotion, like from a source definition, the emotional roller coaster shouldn't be dictating and controlling your life, because it takes you off your highest aligned path. And you've been programmed to do that since childhood, because in the first 7 years, your brain is highly suggestible. Like, it's imprinted directly into your nervous system, in your subconscious, all of these things without filters. And because 99% of the people do not have emotional mastery, your parents most likely didn't. Now imagine how much different it would have been if you would have grown in a emotional mastery household where you don't have to shout, where you don't have to literally become a volcano. And now, before you go into nothing bad, it's completely perfect how your childhood was, because your soul chose that for you to become who you are today. But you don't want to carry that on with you. So, emotions are the most incredible thing. It's literally why your soul came back down here to earth to experience them. And as we know, law of balance, everything is good and positive. There's also detrimental things to emotions. It really depends on how you use them. Like, do you use them to better your life, to actually get what you desire? Or are you going into a spiral, letting your life go down the drain? So that's why we need to master them, because 99% of the world is using them in a detrimental way, and that's why we have the chaos and everything, like part of that as well. So one of the huge problems is if you let the detrimental side of emotions take over, it's your nervous system thinks you're in danger, as I said before. Fight or flight. You can't think rationally. Not because something is wrong with you, it's just how your system was built. And it's then just one single message can send you into a panic, because it triggers an old pattern, or a conversation paralyzes you, and then you think afterwards, oh, I should have said this, or should have thought this, and all of these things. Or a decision will overwhelm you. And as I said, you're so elite and you're so advanced, you cannot let this happen. So let me tell you a story about the day before yesterday, I think. What time? Yeah. So I had a thought of, what if one of the offers we have is too expensive and no one is going to buy it? Now, what could have happened was that would have triggered my fight or flight system. Then I would have gone into a spiral thinking, oh my god, no one ever loves the offers we put out. It's too expensive. No one has that money. No one would ever buy that. Why would it be me? Why? I can't even channel those thoughts anymore. It would be just like, where I would have snapped and went into a spiral of how unworthy, how undesired, like all of our offers are. But because I have the tools, I instantly regulated myself in 10 minutes and also rewired it already. So put in the ingredients I know and just rewired it. Because when you go emotional, you're becoming less intuitive, your fight or flight gets in, and you freak out, and there's a lot of things that go on that you actually don't need your fight or flight system trigger for, but it will trigger that. Just that one thought could have triggered it, but I didn't let it. I instantly neutralized it and shifted it. Because it would have affected my emotions for way longer than you can think. And eventually the whole business would have died. And the whole soul mission we came down here, both of us, all of the lives we are here to change, to impact, would have not been impacted. We would not be able to teach you the tools to help you be just in a better life, because so many people are just settling down for an okay life. It's like those 99%, but you are not of the 99%, you are of the 1%, which is who we are here for. Some point it's going to, the other side will catch up at some point, in the new earth and everything we're helping now moving to. But that's beside the point. There would be so much, like such a wave that is behind it. A little situation like that could affect someone for 3 weeks later, a month, 6 months, a year. But they don't need to be affected by it. If you have the tools to master, like to calm down your nervous system, to emotionally self-regulate, then your whole life changes. Because even if it feels like you're dying, you're not. So what happens, like when I had that thought? That triggered a wound of not being good enough, maybe. But because I instantly shifted, it didn't. But maybe that would have made you feel inadequate. Now, from the time you felt inadequate, not worthy, there's a thrown through moment, the very first time you experience it, and that affected your whole life up until this point. That one memory, and we will go into the course, like revive that. But that one stone throw moment is when your whole system goes back to that moment and triggers it, which is why we need to release it, which is why I didn't get triggered. All of that. There is so much going into this. Now, let's spin this more. That one thought of being known by. What could have happened is you never let yourself post on social media more often or even. Then your business is not being seen by other people. Because of that one emotional reflection of feeling not worthy enough, like feeling inadequate. That could have been neutralized instantly. It could have been like balanced in minutes and shifted and all of that. But you let itself take over your emotions. Because that's emotional. It's emotional. It steers your emotions up and you get into a spiral. And emotions aren't just like raging and crying. It's also the very hidden things, like every single day of why you're not posting your offers, why you're not speaking about your offers the way you should be, or even speaking about them at all, why you cover when your boss comes, when you're thinking your boyfriend will cheat on you, when you will, I don't know, like Jesus Christ himself even had all of those, like every single person has that, but it's up to you to neutralize and regulate your emotions, regulate your nervous system, neutralize them, and shifting all of that. Now, imagine, once again, you're not posting on social media, you're getting the money, you think like the world is making you feel like that, but it's actually emotional imbalance that came from within. And then you're angry for 20 years, 25 years. You know what the root cause, like having such deep anger, will actually manifest it in your body as cancer. Literally as cancer. We don't want that. We don't want that for anyone. So, this means you need to have emotional balance, neutrality. Because if you're not, you cannot think freely, you cannot feel freely, you cannot decide freely, you cannot act freely. Your emotions and nervous system just push you towards a life that is not worth living. And you're going to self-sabotage, you're going into fight responses, you're going to rage, you're going to cry, you're going into being in a puddle in your bathroom floor, crying 3 a.m. over your business not working or your partner, whatever it is. Or you silence yourself, you retreat yourself, you bottle up that anger. And as I said, that will manifest as cancer. And then 99% of the people will say, that's just how I am, that's just how I function, like, just who I am. No, it's not. It's not an identity. It's your unbalanced emotions. Emotions are just programs, like the unbalanced. They're detrimental if you don't have the tools to regulate them. If your system is used to stress, you will create situations that confirm stress. Lack, you get more lack. All of that fear, risk, you will attract dark forces, your life will spiral, all of that. This is why we need to rewire your nervous system, your emotions, balance them out for you to be able to live your best, your best, most extraordinary life. Because you're one of the 1%. You're going to change your life, and others. And even if it doesn't mean you have to be your own business owner or whatever, in whatever shape and form your soul decided to, you're in the 1%. And I'm not going to let you self-sabotage. Not happening here. Sorry. You receive a hard lesson, maybe, whatever. You're going to get the truth of how you can change your life. Because I know you're ready for it. And if this triggered you, you know exactly why. And you know that your higher self wants more for you. Deep down, you want more for you. Maybe not even deep down, you already know it. Like, let's be real, you already know it. So it's time to master your emotions and become one of the 1%. So I see you in the Rewire workshop, and I see you next week for the new podcast. And take care, guys. I can't wait. Like, you're all such intuitive queens, like, so amazing, so out of this world, extraordinary. And it's time you actually get to that life.